Scorpio, they're watching. All of them. What you thought you were hiding, that silent transformation you thought was happening only internally, has become completely visible to those around you. People have noticed something different about you, and they can't stop talking about it. Some are fascinated, others are intimidated, but everyone has realized that you are no longer the same person you were a few months ago. You tried to be discreet, as you always do. You tried to process your inner changes in silence, away from prying eyes, but what's happening to you is too big to contain. It's leaking through every gesture, every word, every look. Your energy has changed so dramatically that people sense when you enter a room, even before they see you. It's as if you're radiating a completely new frequency, and everyone around you is picking up on this transmission, even without consciously understanding what's happening. What I'm about to reveal will shock you, because you have no idea of the impact you're having on people. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what others are seeing in you, why this is happening now, and most importantly, how you can use this new energy to your advantage instead of trying to hide it. Because the truth is, you're going through a metamorphosis that happens only once in a lifetime, and the universe is amplifying your presence to ensure you fully embrace this new level of power that's emerging. Are you ready to discover what everyone around you has already noticed about you? Let me tell you what people are noticing. Your eyes have changed, not the physical color, but the intensity behind them. When you look at someone now, it's as if you're seeing through all the masks and defenses, straight to the essence of that person. And that scares some people, because they're not used to being truly seen. Your voice has changed too. It carries a weight, an authority that wasn't there before. When you speak, people listen differently, as if your words carry a truth that cannot be ignored. But that's not all. Your physical presence has become magnetic in a way you probably don't realize. You enter a room, and the energy changes. Conversations stop for a second. People turn to look, even without knowing why. Some feel drawn to you, as if you were a source of warmth on a cold day. Others instinctively move away because your intensity is too much for them to handle. You have become a polarizer, and that's no coincidence. What's happening is that you've finally stopped diminishing yourself. For years, you probably controlled your natural intensity so as not to bother others, not to seem too strong, too deep, too intense. You learned to hide your power because you realized it scared people who preferred superficiality. But something changed recently. You got tired of hiding, tired of being part of this game where everyone pretends we are less than we really are. And when you decided to stop diminishing yourself, your true essence began to emerge. And it's too powerful to go unnoticed. Can you feel that you no longer have the energy to pretend to be less than you really are? Scorpio, what people are seeing in you is something they instinctively recognize, but rarely find: total authenticity. In a world where most live wearing masks and playing roles, you have become brutally real. And this reality is so intense that it acts as a mirror for everyone around you. When they are near you, people are forced to confront their own falsehoods, their own comfortable lies. That's why some feel so uncomfortable in your presence now. But here's what's important for you to understand. This isn't a problem. This is exactly what should be happening. You're not here to make everyone comfortable. You're here to catalyze transformation. And true transformation is never comfortable. The people who are being repelled by your new energy are those who aren't ready to grow, who prefer to remain in their comfort zones. Let them go. They are simply making room for those who resonate with who you truly are. For Scorpios born between October 23 and November 2, what people are noticing is your newfound ability to set boundaries without guilt. You've stopped accepting crumbs in relationships and situations, and this is unsettling those who benefited from your former tendency to overgive. For those born between November 3 and 13, what has become visible is your natural leadership power. You are taking up space in ways you previously avoided, and this is changing the dynamics of all your environments. And for those born between November 14 and 22, what everyone is noticing is a profound wisdom that seems to have emerged from nowhere. Your words carry a weight that makes people stop and truly consider what you are saying. The common denominator among all Scorpios right now is that you've stopped apologizing for existing at your full potential, and the world doesn't quite know how to react to that because it's so used to people who diminish themselves, who apologize for their power, who hide their light so as not to overshadow anyone. But you've decided to shine, even if it bothers others, even if it changes all your relationships, even if it forces you to rebuild your life on a new foundation. Are you willing to continue on this path, even knowing there's no turning back? The reason this transformation is so visible to others is because it's genuine. It's not a superficial change in behavior. It's a complete internal revolution that's manifesting externally. You're not trying to be different. You are different. You've changed at such deep levels that every cell in your body vibrates at a new frequency, and people feel it, even if they can't explain what they're feeling. Some will try to test you, to see if this change is real or just temporary. They will push your old buttons, try to provoke you into reverting to old reaction patterns. Don't fall into that trap. Your transformation is real and permanent. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Let your actions speak for you. Let your new energy do the work. Those who need to understand will understand. Those who can't handle the new version of you simply weren't meant to be in this new chapter of your life. What is happening to you now is the result of all the inner work you have done over the past few years. Every time you chose truth over convenience, every time you faced your own shadows instead of projecting them onto others, every time you chose to grow instead of remaining stagnant out of fear. All of this was preparing you for this moment where you finally emerge as the most powerful and authentic version of yourself. And here's something that will surprise you. The people who truly matter in your life are celebrating this change in you. They may not say it explicitly, but you can feel it in the way they treat you now, with more respect, with more consideration, as if they finally recognize that you're not someone to be trifled with or treated lightly. You've gained a natural authority that doesn't need to be imposed. It simply exists. How does it feel knowing that you're finally being seen and treated the way you've always deserved? Scorpio, I'm going to tell you something that perhaps no one has dared to say yet. You have become dangerous, not in the sense of being a physical threat, but in the sense that you now have the power to dismantle illusions simply with your presence. You have become someone in whose presence it is impossible to maintain falsehoods. Your energy cuts through lies like a sharp blade, and this makes you extremely valuable to those who seek truth, but extremely threatening to those who live by deception. Some people will try to shrink you back to the size they knew you to be. They will make subtle comments suggesting you've changed in a negative way. They will try to make you feel guilty for no longer being the convenient person who used to accommodate their every whim. Recognize these attempts for what they truly are: fear. Fear that your transformation will force them to confront their own stagnant lives. Fear that your growth will expose their mediocrity. Don't absorb that fear. It's not yours. What everyone is noticing about you also includes a quality that is difficult to name, but impossible to ignore. You have become unavoidable. Your presence can no longer be ignored or minimized. You occupy space in a way that demands attention and respect. And this doesn't come from arrogance or a need for external validation. It comes from a deep inner certainty about who you are and what your worth is. You have finally internalized something you always knew intellectually, but never fully felt. You are extraordinary. For years, you may have hidden this truth from yourself, worried that accepting it would be arrogance. But there's a huge difference between arrogance and self-awareness. Arrogance is a mask that insecure people wear to hide their inadequacies. Self-awareness is simply recognizing your true abilities without false modesty. And you've reached the point where false modesty bothers you more than any external criticism ever could. What is also being noticed in you is a quality of inviolability. You have become like a solid rock in a sea of instability. People feel they can count on you in ways they couldn't before, because now you are rooted in an inner truth that doesn't change with external circumstances. This solidity is magnetic. It attracts people who are tired of superficiality and drama, who seek something real and substantial in their connections. But I'm going to warn you about something important. With this new level of visibility comes a new level of responsibility. People will start looking to you for guidance, for support, for truth. They'll feel you have the answers they need, and in many cases, they'll be right. But you need to set clear boundaries about how much of your energy you're willing to share. Just because you've become powerful doesn't mean you have to carry everyone else's burdens. Scorpio, one of the most significant changes others are noticing is that you've stopped explaining your decisions. You simply act according to your inner truth and let the results speak for themselves. There's no longer that need to justify your choices to gain external approval. This absence of the need for validation is deeply unsettling for people who are used to manipulating you through approval or disapproval. Before, you might have struggled to make your choices make sense to others, even when those choices were clearly right for you. But now, you choose what resonates with your soul and move forward regardless of who understands or approves. This freedom is visible in your every move. People see it, some envy it, others admire it, but everyone recognizes that it's real. What's also being noticed is a renewed quality of mystery that you've acquired. Not the manufactured mystery of someone who tries to be purposefully enigmatic, but the genuine mystery of someone who has depths that cannot be fully known or understood. You've become like an ocean. People can see the surface, but they instinctively know there are layers and layers below that remain unexplored. This makes you infinitely more interesting than when you were trying to be an open book to gain acceptance. Some people will admit that they feel intimidated by you now, even if you haven't done anything to intimidate them. This intimidation comes from their unconscious recognition that you operate on a level of consciousness they cannot reach. It is not your responsibility to dim your light so that they feel better about themselves. Your only responsibility is to remain authentic and let each person decide for themselves whether or not they can keep up with your frequency. The power people see in you isn't something you've recently acquired. It's always been there. The difference is that now you've stopped hiding it, stopped disguising it, stopped apologizing for it. And when you release that power from all the shackles you've placed on it over the years, it emerged with a force that surprises even you sometimes. You're still discovering the full extent of what you're capable of, and that discovery will continue over the next few months. One thing that might surprise you is that people from unexpected places will start seeking you out. Individuals you barely knew will suddenly show interest in deeper connections. This happens because the frequency you're emitting now acts as a beacon for others who are also seeking authenticity and depth. You're attracting your true tribe, those who can not only tolerate, but also celebrate your intensity. Scorpio, what I want you to understand is that this visibility that bothers you so much at times is actually a gift. For years, you may have hidden, operated in the shadows, avoided attention to protect yourself, but now the time has come to be seen in your entirety. Not because you need external validation, but because your mere visible presence inspires others to also embrace their own potential. You have become a living example that it is possible to live without masks and not just survive, but thrive. Are you ready to accept the role of catalyst that the universe is offering you? What people are noticing about you also includes a quiet confidence that is very different from loud arrogance. You no longer need to announce your worth or prove your abilities. You simply exist in your truth and let anyone with eyes to see recognize who you are. This quiet confidence is 100 times more powerful than any self-promotion could be. Some will try to provoke you into demonstrating your power, as if you needed to prove something. Don't fall for it. You have nothing to prove. Lions roar to be heard. Eagles don't need to announce they can fly. They simply fly. You have become the eagle. You no longer need to roar to be recognized. Your presence speaks louder than any words ever could. As you continue to embody this new version of yourself, your visibility will increase even further. You may be called upon for leadership or influential positions that you previously avoided. Opportunities that require you to fully showcase yourself will appear with increasing frequency. Don't avoid them for fear of exposure. This is precisely the time to embrace your visibility and use your influence to create a positive impact on the world. The transformation everyone is noticing in you isn't superficial or temporary. It's a complete metamorphosis that has changed you at a cellular level. You've literally become a different person, and there's no going back. Even if you tried to return to who you were before, and you won't want to, it would be impossible. You've crossed a threshold, and there's no turning back. Only movement toward even greater levels of power and authenticity. Scorpio, some people will try to put you back in the box they knew you in. They will use memories of who you were to try to convince you that this new version isn't really you. Don't listen. They are wrong. The truth is, you have finally become who you were always meant to be. The old version was a lie, created to fit expectations and avoid conflict. This new version is your deepest truth finally manifested. Protect it with your life, because it is the most precious thing you possess. What I want you to do now is stop trying to control how others perceive you. Let them see what they see. Let them say what they want to say. Your only responsibility is to continue being authentic. Continue growing, continue evolving. Other people's perceptions of you are their problems, not yours. You're not here to manage anyone's insecurities. And here's something liberating. The more comfortable you become with your newfound intensity, the more comfortable the right people will feel around you too. The tension some people feel in your presence diminishes when you stop trying to hide or soften who you are. Paradoxically, when you stop worrying about making others feel comfortable, the right people naturally feel more comfortable. Pay attention to how you feel when you notice someone watching you or commenting on you. If you feel the need to explain or justify yourself, recognize that this is a remnant of old patterns trying to resurface. Take a deep breath and simply continue being yourself. You don't owe anyone an explanation about how you choose to live your life or express your essence. Scorpio, the final truth I need you to understand is this. Everyone is noticing the change in you because you stopped asking permission to exist in your entirety. You stopped apologizing for taking up space. You stopped diminishing yourself so as not to threaten fragile egos. And when you did that, you revealed a power that was always there, but imprisoned under layers of social conditioning. That power is now free and will never be contained again. The only question that remains is, what will you do with it? If this message resonated with you in a way that made you feel seen and understood, share your experience about these changes you've been feeling in the comments. Describe what you've noticed in the reactions of the people around you.